When the consumer gets exposed to external stimuli, whether marketing stimuli such as ads or billboards, or other stimuli such as environmental or cultural stimuli, their response to such stimuli is shaped by two factors: consumer characteristics, and these are the influential factors we just discussed in the previous lesson, which are cultural, social, or personal influences, and consumer psychology, in the form of key psychological processes that take place and eventually influence the buyer's decision and reaction to the different marketing or external stimuli. These key psychological processes are motivation, perception, learning, and memory. At any given time, we tend to have different needs, and these needs are not only biogenic ones, such as hunger or thirst, but also psychological needs, such as the need for recognition or self-esteem. When our needs are aroused to a sufficient level of intensity, they become motives. A motive is a need that has become intense enough that it drives us to act on it. According to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our needs are arranged in a hierarchy from the most pressing ones, which are the most important to us, to the least pressing ones. At the very bottom of the pyramid are the physiological needs, such as food, water, and shelter. Then comes safety needs, followed by social needs, such as love or a sense of belonging, and then esteem needs, such as status, self-esteem, and recognition. And finally, self-actualization needs, such as self-development and realization. We tend to try to satisfy our most important needs first, and then we think about the other less important ones. For example, if you study a group of buyers who live in a very poor village and hardly have anything to eat, you will find that they are focused on securing food, water, and shelter for themselves and their families. Then comes their need for safety and protection. But those communities will not be interested in self-development or status while their most pressing needs are still not fulfilled. Only when they fill their most important needs and secure them will they be interested in products that solve their higher problems. As we said, when our needs are pressing and intense enough, they turn into motives. When we become motivated, we are ready to act. How we act will be influenced by our perception of the current situation. Perception is a three-stage process that translates raw stimuli into meaning. The three stages are exposure, attention, and interpretation. We could be exposed to the same stimuli and yet have different interpretations to those stimuli and therefore different perceptions. For example, someone might perceive a loud-talking salesperson as enthusiastic and energetic, while someone else sees him as aggressive and disrespectful. Based on their different perceptions, they are going to respond differently. So as you can see, they are both exposed to the same reality, but have different perceptions. That's why in marketing, perception is more important than reality, because perceptions are what drive consumer behavior. One of the reasons some retailers fail when they expand into different countries is that they copy-paste their business and operations from the US into the new market, not realizing that people in different markets will be shaped by their different cultural backgrounds and their perception for certain behaviors will be different. Most of our behavior is learned. We learn through experiences and tend to apply what we've learned the next time we need to act on something. When we learn from an experience, we then tend to do one of two things. We either generalize or discriminate. For example, when we buy a certain product from a certain retailer and our experience turns out to be good, in the future when we need another product, we assume that since our experience with the previous one was favorable, it's safe to say that this product, if we buy it from the same brand, will also be good. This is generalization. The opposite side is discrimination. This is when your experience has taught you not to buy from this retailer again because you were not satisfied with your purchase. As we go through our experiences in life, we tend to accumulate information. This information can end up being stored in our long-term memory. There are two types of memory: short-term memory, and this is a temporary storage of information, and long-term memory. This is a permanent storage. According to the associative network memory model, our long-term memory consists of a set of nodes and links. Information is stored in the nodes, and these nodes are connected through links that can either be strong or weak. When one node gets activated, other nodes also get activated if their link with the node was strong enough. For example, when you smell a certain scent that is strongly linked to some other memories through past experiences, you instantly recall these memories just because of the smell. Marketers take this information and try to use it in branding by creating a brand node in memory and linking it to different associations that they want consumers to remember every time they think about the brand. The brand associations could be in the form of feelings, thoughts, experiences, perceptions, or beliefs. For example, a hypothetical brand of chips could have the following associations: crispy, tasty, American, good quality, happy, original. Such associations are introduced to the consumer's mind through marketing activities such as ads that suggest those associations and strongly link them to the brand. They then use repetition to strengthen those links and prevent the decay of these associations in memory. The process by which we recover information from long-term memory is called retrieval. However, not everything that gets stored in the long-term memory can be recalled easily. The stronger the associations of the brand, the more likely it can be recalled through spreading activation. That is, when one of the nodes associated with the brand node gets activated and the link between both is strong, then the brand node will likely get activated too. However, because the retrieval is not assured and can be crowded by so many other things stored in memory, marketers use retrieval cues or reminders to facilitate such activation and recall. This is why, for example, you find in-store marketing through product packaging or in-store display. This is to remind consumers about what they have seen in the ads outside the store and affect their purchase decision. Now that the consumer has received the stimuli and processed them through using the different factors and influences we've gone through, the buying process starts, and it goes through different stages: problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, and post-purchase behavior. Of course, consumers don't have to go through all those stages every time they buy a product. Sometimes they skip some stages, either because they've already gone through them and now have a favorite product they buy every time, or they can also skip some of the stages because the item they are buying is insignificant and doesn't need much involvement from them. For example, you won't need much effort to land on which brand of sugar to buy, but you are more likely to spend a lot of time and effort deciding on which TV or laptop to invest in. The process starts when consumer recognizes a certain problem or need to be satisfied. This need could have been triggered by an internal or external stimulus, and if the need gets strong enough, it pushes the consumer to take action. Some retailers deliberately try to trigger the need to initiate the buying process. For example, Krispy Kreme lights a Hot Now neon sign every time a new batch of donuts has been freshly baked. When a consumer has recognized the need and has been aroused enough to act on it, the information search process starts. The goal of this process is to try and gather more information about the different products that can fill the need. Information sources could be personal, such as friends and family, commercial, such as websites, ads, dealers, or salespeople, public, such as Yelp, Reddit boards, forums, or YouTube reviews by other users, and experiential, by examining and trying out the products themselves. At this stage, consumers will get to know about the different brands available, which they are going to narrow down based on the information they found into a choice set that they will choose from which product to buy. Which takes us to the next stage. At this stage, the consumer is comparing between a set of alternative products and wants to decide which one to go for. Consumers see each product as a set of attributes that deliver a number of benefits. For example, if they are buying a TV, they are usually evaluating price, resolution, quality, size, and connectivity. Different consumers will have different sought-after benefits from the products they are buying. That's to say, some people would care more about the price, while others want to make sure it's a smart TV that connects to the internet, and so on. Customers compare between the different alternatives based on the benefits they will get out of each one and costs they will incur in the process of acquiring each one. They could also base their decision on what is a requirement for them that cannot be compromised. For example, if they require internet connectivity, they exclude all the other alternatives that do not connect to the internet. They then arrive at a purchase intent. Sometimes, some intervening factors could affect the turn of purchase intent into a purchase decision, and these factors include attitudes of others and unanticipated situational factors. Attitudes of others, other people's opinion about the brand or product, could affect the final purchase decision based on two factors: the intensity of the other's negative attitude towards the chosen product, or the consumer's motivation to comply with the other's wishes. So even if the consumer likes a product and it makes sense for them to choose it, they could still change the decision based on what other people say. This other could be a family member, for example, the wife, but it could also be online review sites or YouTube channels. Unanticipated situational factors are risk factors for the consumer that he or she taken into consideration, and it could affect their final decision. For example, the consumer could like the TV, but after finding out it's not covered by any warranty, they back away from buying it, just because they don't want to take that risk, even if the reviews online are good. Types of perceived risks include functional risk, physical risk, financial risk, social risk, psychological risk, and time risk. Now that the customer has taken the decision to buy the product and has actually bought it, we move to the next stage, which is the post-purchase behavior. The post-purchase behavior of the consumer includes satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the purchase, post-purchase action, and post-purchase use and disposal. The importance of the post-purchase behavior stage is that it influences the future buying decision process of the same consumer as well as other consumers. If the consumer is satisfied, they will buy the same product again or even buy other products from the same retailer because of generalization, as we mentioned. They might even skip certain stages or considering and evaluating other alternatives because they are very satisfied with this product and brand, and this is how loyalty is established. All this saves the company a lot of time and money trying to market to the same consumer again and again. The same consumer will also be a source of information for other buyers on the market, whether they are immediate family, friends, or neighbors, or by voicing their satisfaction on the internet and influencing even more consumers. This completes all the stages of the buying decision process. In the next lesson, we will see how retailers can use their knowledge of this process to better serve and acquire customers. when we look at the customer journey of buying a product, we can identify different stages where a retailer can step in and influence the process. First, we notice that a big part of the process happens outside of the store. So waiting for the customer to show up and only then starting to engage with them means we are missing a lot of customers who have gone somewhere else. The other thing we notice is that a lot of retailers have a very limited view when it comes to marketing effectiveness, and so they set the wrong KPIs for their team. Some companies restrict measuring marketing ROI on specific campaigns and how they result in on-the-spot sales in the stores. However, as we now understand after studying consumer behavior that people don't buy just because they have seen your ads. If you show someone an ad for sunglasses and they don't have the need or want at this time, no matter how many times you repeat the ad, they will not go to the store and buy the sunglasses. However, because they have seen your ads repeatedly and associated them with positive associations that you were stressing on in your ad, when the time comes and the need arises, and now they want sunglasses, for example, because theirs got broken, you will probably be in their awareness set of brands that they will consider in their journey. This is also why influencer marketing works, because when we follow an influencer who uses a certain brand, when the need arises in us, we will probably go for the same brand or at least consider it. So the application begins far ahead of the actual consumer journey by building brand awareness and positive associative network for our brand. This is done through positioning and branding. Now, when we move to the stages of the actual decision-making process, as we have seen in the example of Krispy Kreme, retailers could trigger the need for the product using some stimuli. Then at the information search stage, retailers want to either be a source of information or partner with other people who are key opinion leaders such as experts or influencers. For example, when Gary Vaynerchuk launched Wine Library, it was a great source of information for people who were looking to buy wine and want to see the different alternatives. This is a very effective strategy for multi-brand retailers. If you carry the different brands that people are comparing and you position yourself as an authority in the field, especially that you sell the product and know what people prefer and what they don't, you could become a very useful source of information and intercept the customer journey at this early step. Now that they have come to know, like, and trust you, they will probably buy directly from you. At the evaluation of alternative stage, the retailer wants to end up in the choice set. This is done by understanding what attributes and benefits people are seeking from the product, and then using this knowledge in advertising the product by highlighting the most important benefits, redesigning the product in case your research showed that you always end up out of the choice set because main attributes are missing, repositioning if you found that people have wrong beliefs about your brand, competitive repositioning if you found that consumers have a wrong belief about your competitor and mistakenly think they have superior quality, changing the importance of attributes if customers are not assigning high weight to the attributes your product is superior at, highlighting neglected attributes if they are neglecting attributes that you believe are important, or shift consumers' ideals in what they see as the ideal product. A lot of this could actually be done at store level through knowledgeable sales associates who have enough product knowledge not only on your products but also on the competition, so that they can uncover and resolve any resistance from the customer side. Finally, to avoid having a bad post-purchase experience, make sure you are giving customers the right expectation for the product and avoid over-promising just to close the sale. Here's also where good CRM and loyalty programs come in, to delight and take care of loyal customers who can turn into influencers to other people's buying journeys.